In the early 1990s, the video game industry was a battlefield. Sega, once a scrappy arcade giant, was locked in a brutal fight with Nintendo for the living room. With the Sega Genesis, they captured the hearts of a generation, proving that a company could challenge a titan and win. But by the mid-90s, the landscape shifted. Sony entered the scene with the PlayStation. It was sleek, supported 3D graphics, and used affordable CD-ROMs instead of expensive cartridges. Sega attempted to counter with the Saturn, but it was complex to develop for and struggled to gain developer support. By 1998, Sega was in trouble. The Saturn had flopped in North America, and the company's reputation was bruised. They needed a miracle to stay in the hardware business. That miracle was supposed to be the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was a marvel of engineering. It was the first console to include a built-in modem for online play, years before broadband was common. It featured titles like Sonic Adventure and Soul Calibur that looked light years ahead of anything else available. In late 1999, Sega launched the Dreamcast in North America with massive hype. It was a commercial success at launch, selling out quickly and generating record-breaking sales. For a brief moment, it felt like Sega was finally back on top. However, a shadow was looming. Sony had announced the PlayStation 2. The PS2 promised a DVD player built right in, which was a massive selling point as DVDs were replacing VHS tapes at a rapid pace. Suddenly, the Dreamcast wasn't just a gaming machine, it was a home entertainment system competitor. Sega also faced a massive internal problem. They were essentially competing against their own past failures. The damage to their brand with retailers and third-party developers from the Saturn era meant many companies were hesitant to commit to the Dreamcast. The financial strain was immense. Sega was burning cash to subsidize the price of the console, hoping to make it up through game sales. But as the hype for the PlayStation 2 reached a fever pitch, consumers simply stopped buying Dreamcasts to save their money for the upcoming Sony machine. By 2001, the situation became untenable. Despite having a loyal fanbase, Sega's hardware division was hemorrhaging money. The company made the difficult decision to cancel the Dreamcast and pivot entirely to software development for other platforms. It was a shocking moment for the industry. A company that had defined an entire era of gaming was suddenly no longer in the console business. They began porting their iconic franchises, like Sonic the Hedgehog, to Nintendo and Sony consoles. Sega's exit serves as a stark reminder of the innovator's dilemma. Being first with technology, like the Dreamcast's online play, doesn't guarantee market dominance if the broader ecosystem and consumer demand shift elsewhere, like the necessity of a DVD player. The lesson here isn't just about video games. It's about how even the most beloved brands can be pushed out of a market when they fail to adapt to changing consumer preferences or when their past strategic errors make it impossible to regain trust in a highly competitive, capital-intensive environment.